The days rotate in bringing good and bad. That the former will find reward and happiness, while the latter will find only sin and misery. You have written to console me for losing. For this matter I had been in waiting, and when it finally came to pass, I had no misgivings about it. The days rotate in bringing good and bad. It has been related that Imam Ahmad visited Baqi bin Mukhalid while he was sick and said to him, "Rejoice in Allah's reward. The days of health are devoid of sickness, and the days of sickness are devoid of health." This means that during days of health, one never contemplates sickness, for plans and ambitions then increase, as do hopes and desires during days of severe sickness. However, one forgets matters that pertain to times of health. Weak despair encamps itself within the sick soul, and thus hopelessness prevails. Allah the Exalted said, "And if we give man a taste of mercy from us, and then withdraw it from him, verily he is despairing, ungrateful. But if we let him taste good favor after evil, poverty and harm has touched him, he is sure to say, 'Ills have departed from me.' Surely he is exalted and boastful, ungrateful to Allah, except those who show patience and do righteous good deeds. Theirs will be forgiveness and a great reward, paradise." Commenting on this verse, Ibn Kathir wrote, Allah is describing man and the base characteristic that he is the possessor of, with the exception of those believers upon whom Allah has bestowed his mercy. In general, if man is afflicted with hardship after ease, he becomes hopeless of ever seeing good in the future. He shows disdain for the past, as if he never experienced good days, and despair for the future, as if he never expected succor and relief. Analogous is his attitude when he experiences ease after hardship. "Ills have departed from me." Or in other words, nothing evil or bad will befall me after this. Surely he is exalted and boastful, except those who show patience and do righteous good deeds. Theirs will be forgiveness and a great reward. Travel throughout Allah's wide earth. It has rightly been said that traveling drives away worries. Ram Humuzi enumerated in his book, The Noble Scholar of Hadith, the various benefits of traveling for the people of seeking knowledge. He was refuting those who think that no tangible benefit can be derived by traveling through the lands. He said, "There is much profit to be derived from seeing new lands and new houses, in seeing beautiful gardens and fields, in seeing different faces, and coming across different languages, and colours, and in witnessing the wonders of different countries. The peace that one finds under the shades of large trees is unparalleled. Eating in the mosques, drinking from streams, and sleeping wherever one finds a place when night comes. These all instill infallibility and humbleness in a person. The traveller befriends all those whom he loves for Allah's sake. and he has no reason to flatter or to be artificial. Add to these benefits all of the happiness that the traveler's heart feels when he reaches his destination, and the thrill he experiences after. Having overcome all of the obstacles that were on his way, if those who are averse to leaving their homelands knew all of this, they would learn that all of the individual pleasures of the world are combined in the noble pursuit of travelling. There is nothing more enjoyable to a traveller than the beautiful sights and the wonderful activities that are part of travelling through Allah's wide earth, and the non-traveller is deprived of all of this. Contemplate these prophetic sayings. If Allah loves a people, He tests them. Whoever is pleased for Him, there is pleasure, and whoever is angry, upon Him there is wrath. The most harshly tested people are the prophets, followed in succession by those who are best after them. A man is tested according to his religion. If his religion is strong with him, his test will be more intense. If his religion is weak with him, he will be tested according to the level of his religion. Allah's slave will continually be tested until he is left to walk on the earth without a mistake to have to account for. Wonderful is the situation of the believer. All of his affairs are good for him, and this is only for the believer. If good befalls him, he is thankful, and that is good for him. If harm afflicts him, he is patient, and that is good for him. And know that if the entire nation were to gather upon benefiting you with something, they would only benefit you with something that Allah has already written for you. And if they were to gather upon harming you with something, they would only harm you with something that Allah has already written for you. The righteous ones are tested, first the best of them, then the next, and so on. The believer is like a tiny branch. The wind blows it to the right and to the left. In the last moments of life was a prolific thinker and writer. Whose pen rarely left his hand. He lived to the ripe age of 78, and throughout his life he never unnecessarily took a break from reading, writing, or teaching. When he was on his deathbed, upon entering, I immediately recognized that he was on the verge of leaving this life. While in that state, he said to me that there was an issue in Islamic inheritance law that we had discussed. The last time we met, and that I had said something, then that he now realized was a mistake. I felt compassion for him and asked him if it was proper for him to discuss something like that with him being so ill. He answered, I know that I am leaving this world, but don't you think it is better for me to understand the issue in question than to be ignorant of it? I then repeated on him the issue, and he started to explain it to me. After we finished our conversation, I left upon exciting. I heard a scream, and I knew that he had died. It is only lofty souls that remain strong right until the end. Was bleeding to death after being stabbed. He asked his companions whether he had completed the prayer or not.